This is the CBS Evening News. With Dan Rather reporting tonight from Washington.
Good evening. There are fast-breaking developments on several important fronts here tonight. Here's the latest. CBS News broke the story earlier today that in Special Prosecutor Ken Starr's opinion, there are 11 grounds for presidential impeachment. In Starr's judgment, they include 4 areas: perjury, obstruction of justice, witness tampering, and abuse of power. This leaking of details continues even though House members have yet to authorize any official release of Starr's reports. Democrats argue that the president deserves a fair chance to read the report first and respond. The president himself stepped up the pace of his new round of apologies today. All of this on another big down day for Wall Street. More about Wall Street shortly. First, to CBS News White House correspondent Scott Pelley. Scott?
Dan, sources tell CBS News the Starr report does contain 11 points that are described as grounds for impeachment. They range from perjury to abuse of office. In the words of one Starr ally tonight, the narrative of the report calls into question Mr. Clinton's fitness to remain president.
Mr. Clinton, striving to save his presidency, apologized again today to his party, his cabinet, and the American people. Under extreme pressure, his schedule is now crowded with expressions of regret.
I was in an extended meeting with senators from my own party. Part of this process I'm going through of talking to people with whom I work and with whom I must work in your behalf to ask for their understanding, their forgiveness.
The Democratic senators were summoned to hear the new apology, but having been burned once before, they asked Mr. Clinton if there are any surprises coming in Starr's report.
His answer was that no, there were no surprises.
Sources tell CBS News that the 11 grounds for impeachment allege that Mr. Clinton lied under oath in the Paula Jones sexual harassment suit, lied under oath to the grand jury investigating the Lewinsky matter, tampered with witnesses in the Lewinsky case, and abused the office of the presidency. Among the most serious grounds are items 10 and 11, which allege abuse of power. Starr argues Mr. Clinton used the White House to defend a lie. He also charges that the administration worked to influence efforts to stop the testimony of Secret Service agents. Mr. Clinton has always insisted he was not involved.
The Secret Service has made this decision on its own. I'm not involved with it.
The report also alleges Mr. Clinton lied before a federal judge when he swore, "I have never had sexual relations with Monica Lewinsky." Starr says Mr. Clinton then lied to the grand jury when he said that statement was accurate. It was a claim he repeated to the nation.
While my answers were legally accurate, I did not volunteer information.
Sources tell CBS News some grand jury members became angry when Mr. Clinton said that in testimony. Their questions became pointed and skeptical. The exchange is included in Starr's submission. Because Mr. Clinton insisted his conduct was not technically sex, the Starr report describes his encounters in the Oval Office in great detail. The report also lists telephone records that allegedly show a number of calls from the White House to Lewinsky's apartment at the same time that she was listed as a witness against Mr. Clinton.
Also, CBS News has learned that the Starr report was edited by Sam Dash, a respected legal scholar who was once the chief counsel to the Senate Watergate Committee during the Nixon hearings. Now, here at the White House at this moment, a cabinet meeting has just broken up with the president. Bill Richardson, soon-to-be Energy Secretary, described the meeting as extraordinary. He described the president as hurting, and we have just been told that the president will be making a statement here at the White House in the next several minutes. Dan?
And, of course, if that statement happens while we're on the air, we'll bring it to you. Here on Capitol Hill, for all the talk of bipartisan cooperation and caution, there's plenty of impeachment talk in the air and a push for fast public release of Starr's report, even before the Clinton camp sees it. With that in mind, House Democratic leader Dick Gephardt today said, and I quote, "You don't overturn the results of an American election on a whim," unquote. The latest goings-on in Congress, here's CBS News Chief Washington Correspondent Bob Schieffer. Bob?
Well, Dan, Congress's copy of the Starr report remains under lock, key, and armed guard. But with congressional plans to make it public already well underway, we should know the gist of it by tomorrow night.
With the capital awash in rumors that it will be detailed, tawdry, and graphic,
the president's lawyers paid an 11th-hour visit to senior Judiciary Committee members.
It was simply a preliminary get-acquainted meeting to discuss the process for proceeding from here on out.
In fact, they asked for 48 hours to examine the report before it's made public. But sources said Committee Chairman Hyde refused that request and even a later request for a 1-hour advance look. And within hours, a congressional committee began drafting plans to do just what the White House does not want, make more than 400 pages of the report public.
It is important that we American people learn the facts regarding this matter. And that isn't just members of Congress, that is we, the American people.
Knowing it could trigger a nasty debate, House Speaker Gingrich warned all sides to be on best behavior.
Members engaging in debate must abstain from language that is personally offensive toward the president, including references to various types of unethical behavior.
For Democrats, a deep sense of dread has settled over the Capitol as they await a report they know only one thing about. It won't be good.
We know it's very serious. We know that that the House is going to be taking it up, and who knows? I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. They could vote articles of impeachment. We could be a jury.
At least by tomorrow, they should have a better feel for where all this is going, because if the current planning holds, the House of Representatives at mid-morning tomorrow will approve release of 400-plus pages of the Starr report. At that point, the House Speaker intends to put it on the Internet so everyone can read it. Dan?
Bob. Of course, CBS News will be on the air tomorrow with full coverage as soon as the official details of the Starr report start becoming available and as other developments warrant. As for the public reaction so far, these results today from a CBS News poll on the subject of President Clinton and women voters. The poll indicates no clear evidence Mr. Clinton is suffering any greater loss of support among women than men. In fact, women remain more supportive of him than men, both before and after the Starr investigation. All told, among men and women, 2/3 say it would be better for the country if this president does not resign. Now, to a question that may soon be put to 435 Americans, the members of the House of Representatives: what exactly is an impeachable offense for a president of the United States? CBS's Wyatt Andrews has been to school on that and has some answers.
It's among the most vaguely worded powers in the Constitution. Impeachment shall be for treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. Sounds simple, but what does that mean?
It's a substantial abuse of the power of the office.
24 years ago, Joseph Woods was the staff attorney who defined high crimes and misdemeanors for the House Judiciary Committee, then considering the impeachment of President Richard Nixon. He says the phrase does not mean actual crimes. It's any offense seriously damaging the U.S. government. That means Ken Starr's litany of crimes, like perjury and witness tampering, won't count unless the House sees the acts in question as grave.
It has to be something that is important and perhaps even fundamental to our system of government.
But consider, when Richard Nixon faced the House, Impeachment Article 1 accused him of making false or misleading public statements.
I misled people.
Impeachment Article 1 also accused Nixon of deceiving the people of the United States.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
And here, according to Woods, is our core national question. Are Clinton's acts and deceptions over Monica Lewinsky as momentous as Nixon's were in Watergate?
It's hard to see that the government has been hurt in the way that the government was hurt by the Watergate affair.
In a twist of history, the Ken Starr report is being housed in the Gerald Ford building. Ford being the successor to Richard Nixon as president, and the congressman who once said high crimes and misdemeanors were anything the House wanted them to be at a given moment in history. They must be grave, but high crimes and misdemeanors can literally be whatever. Wyatt Andrews, CBS News, Washington.
What's going on here in Washington this week is adding to the world of woes on Wall Street. The benchmark Dow Industrials plunged nearly 250 points today to 7,615. The Dow now shows a loss for the year of more than 3.5%. CBS's Anthony Mason in New York has more about this. Anthony?
Dan, just when the market was trying to get up off its knees, the Starr report and uncertainties over the president's future knocked the legs out from under investor confidence again.
28 traded 3, 2002 is done.
The Dow's record 380-point gain Tuesday has now evaporated in sell-offs Wednesday and Thursday. The stock market has become so skittish, so subject to mood swings, that the Dow has closed plus or minus more than 100 points in 10 of the last 18 trading sessions. After instability in Asia, Russia, and Latin America, there is now instability at home. And constitutional crises have never been good for stocks. A quarter century ago, in a 12-month period surrounding Richard Nixon's resignation, the Dow endured its worst bear market in 40 years, falling more than 40%. There were other worries weighing on the market then, of course, as there are today. Forecasts for corporate earnings growth, a key barometer for stocks, have been cut to less than 1% for the third quarter. The Clinton factor could be crucial in the market's fragile psyche. A psychological inversion point, one Wall Street veteran called it today. We're worse off now, he said, than we were last week. Dan?
Anthony Mason in New York. In a moment, I'll be talking live with Senate Democratic leader Tom Daschle about his White House meeting today with President Clinton. Also still to come, whatever the president has to say. We're told he has something to say very quickly. The First Lady's role in all this, and the latest on Russia's new political leader, as the CBS Evening News continues from Washington.
Looking for cleaner, healthier water? Get the new Pure Plus pitcher. The only pitcher that reduces both chemicals and microorganisms. Get more out of your water. Get new Pure Plus.
It's more than stats and scores. Sunday. Sports. Central. Sunday night at 10:20, only on News Channel 5.
We know all about it. Some people throw away the Publishers Clearinghouse sweepstakes without even opening it up. Well, this week, that could be a costly mistake. Because this week, if you throw away a Publishers Clearinghouse envelope with this green star, you could be throwing away a real check for $100,000. There are thousands of real checks right inside selected envelopes marked with a green star. Checks you can take right to the bank. So watch for a Publishers Clearinghouse envelope with a green star. There could be a real check inside.
Is there a store between here and the Canadian border we haven't been to? Honey, I'm beat. I'm starving.
Here's something good for you.
Ensure bars?
Complete balanced nutrition. To go.
Ensure bars with protein, 24 vitamins and minerals, including calcium, vitamin D, iron, zinc, antioxidants, C and E. A source of complete balanced nutrition.
Delicious. What's next?
The Canadian border.
I'm ready.
Ensure bars. To your health.
Back now in Washington, CBS News has been told that the Northwest Airlines strike may at this moment be in the process of being settled. We're monitoring that story and we'll have more about it. But back to the White House under fire. I'm joined now by one of the leading Democrats here on Capitol Hill, Senate Majority Leader Tom Daschle of South Dakota, one of a group of Senate Democrats who met with the president at the White House this morning. Senator, thanks for being with us. Tell me what the president's mood is. Let me say to you that a good friend of his said to me recently that the president indicated he thought his chances of surviving was only about 50%. Did you get that impression, and is that your opinion?
Well, we didn't talk percentages, Dan. I think his mood is somber, it's contrite. He's very concerned. He recognizes the seriousness of this situation, the gravity of it, wants to be able to confront it effectively.
What are you hearing from the people back home? You come from a pretty conservative area of the country. What are they telling you?
Well, people are very concerned about it. They're very disturbed by the news of all of this, but they're also very concerned about issues that matter more to them personally. We have a farm crisis in South Dakota that's just very, very troubling right now. We have an array of other challenges that the American people, and they, especially in South Dakota, want us to address.
You're one of the country's more experienced elected officials, and you know there's a time when things reach a critical mass, and just a movement for such a thing as an impeachment or a resignation of the president just gets rolling and nothing seems to stop it. Are we at that point right now?
We're not at that point yet. I think people want to see just what the report has, and they want to see what the president's response will be. This is a process that's beginning. It's going to take some time. Senator Byrd yesterday said we ought to step back and take a deep breath. I think the American people want us to take a deep breath before we make any decisions about what to do.
There have been so many surprises before. Now, you said when you came out of your meeting with the president today that he had said there are no more surprises. Do you believe that?
I do. Obviously, this is something that we're going to have to, what do we mean by surprise? How do you define surprise? Obviously, that's subject to interpretation, but he says there's no surprises. I think he knows what we mean when we ask the question, so we'll have to see.
Personal opinion, does he survive this or not?
My guess is today he does survive.
Senator Tom Daschle, thank you very much. Appreciate you taking the time. We'll be back in a moment with the rest of the day's news and more from Washington on the President, Congress, and the Special Prosecutor's Report.
Life's an adventure because you're over 50 and still exploring. So take the Centrum made just for you, Centrum Silver, with age-essential nutrients specially adjusted to keep pace with your changing nutritional needs. Centrum Silver, it's a great time to be silver.
With all we have to do today, does it make sense to keep color on your hair for 30 minutes when you can get rid of the gray in 5? Just 5. Great color, body, and shine in 5 gentle minutes. Just 5. Smart hair color. Works for me.
Traffic sounds bad.
Yeah, so tell me about Cantex.
Just jump to 43 even, you're long 20,000.
What's the best way to sell that?
Checking the quote. There's a huge size on the bid, no need to break it up. You can move it as a block.
Good, sell it at market, okay?
Placing an order, moving 20,000.
Moving nowhere in Santa Monica.
Confirmed, 20,000 sold at market.
Can you give me the peonies?
You're not taking that laxative. Ring. It's got stimulants that may cause cramping.
Says who?
Says on the label. Don't you know nothing's better than Phillips Milk of Magnesia?
All these overnight laxatives have stimulants that may cause cramping. Phillips doesn't. It's the only one that's stimulant-free.
And you know Phillips.
She never takes a vacation.
Phillips, effective relief without harsh stimulants. And also try convenient liquid gels.
The Metro School Board makes teachers a pay offer they can refuse. And interest rates are low and dropping. Want to buy a home? The story at 6.
Underscoring a story that CBS News is breaking tonight, and that is that the Northwest Airlines strike, CBS News has been told by several sources, is, as we speak, in the process of being settled. We'll have more about that later. Russia finally broke out of its political paralysis today. President Boris Yeltsin came up with a compromise choice for Prime Minister, a former KGB spy master and friend of Saddam Hussein, who is acceptable to the communists in parliament. Still, as CBS News Moscow correspondent Richard Threlkeld now reports, the Kremlin crisis is far from solved.
For 3 days, President Boris Yeltsin and his opposition in the Russian parliament went eyeball to eyeball with each other, and today Yeltsin blinked. His twice-rejected choice for Prime Minister Viktor Chernomyrdin withdrew his name because, quote, I cannot harm Russia. And Yeltsin sent to Parliament a new candidate, Foreign Minister Yevgeny Primakov, ex-communist, ex-KGB spy master, and a respected diplomat, even though he's often clashed with American foreign policy. At age 68, Primakov's older than Yeltsin and physically frail, but he has no designs on the Russian presidency, and according to analyst Andrei Kortunov, he's a man Yeltsin can trust not to make waves.
He doesn't really look like a person capable of radical, far-reaching decisions. He doesn't know much about economics. He's not a charismatic person.
At best, Primakov's an interim figure who can give Russia a little breathing space, and that's enough for the opposition. Gennady Zyuganov, the communist leader. This will be good for Russia. Grigory Yavlinsky, the Democrat. It's a way out of the crisis. Primakov is expected to be confirmed by the parliament tomorrow. The economic agony here persists and gets more painful by the day. But at least now Russia seems about to get something it hasn't had for almost 3 weeks. A government. Richard Threlkeld, CBS News, Moscow.
Members of President Clinton's cabinet have just come out of a meeting in the White House with the president, one what they described as emotional, and it was made clear that the president apologized to members of his cabinet for having lied to them. More CBS News coverage, including The Northwest Airlines strike apparently being in process of being settled after these messages.
Great meal.
Uh-oh, gas pressure. What now? What else? Gas X, with the most powerful medicine for fast relief. Nothing works faster.
Hey, want to go for ice cream?
Gas X, the power to fight gas fast.
I'm 75. I've always said if somebody does something nice for me, I'll do backflips for them.
Twin Lab Joint Fuel nutritionally supports healthy joint and bone function and helps you do the things you love. At GNC and other health food stores.
Right now, LensCrafters is having an end-of-summer sun sale. You'll find special offers on hundreds of the latest sunglass styles. Get a complete pair of prescription sunglasses for only $99. We'll have them ready in about an hour. And save up to 50% on selected styles of regular sunglasses. So hurry to the end-of-summer sun sale, on now at LensCrafters.
Call 1-800-541-LENS for the store nearest you.
I should have used Preparation H.
If you had, you wouldn't be suffering now. Preparation H helps stop itch and further irritation with a soothing layer of protection.
I should have used Preparation H.
Stops itch, stops irritation.
Hey, I got a letter back from Quaker. I wrote and told them that Quaker toasted oatmeal ought to be called Quaker tasty oatmeal.
It's oatmeal, it's toasted. To me, that says tasty.
Well, then they should call it that.
You need a hobby.
Quaker toasted oatmeal. It's your other oatmeal.
In clinical studies, a leading pain medicine significantly reduced minor arthritis pain, increasing range of motion and flexibility. You may be surprised. The medicine in these studies wasn't a pill. It was Bengay. And now, when you use ultra-strength Bengay for your aches and pains, you get the heating power of 3 pain relievers to help you feel better and move better. Ultra-strength Bengay, medicine for your moving parts.
Her identity was stolen by an imposter. Could she also lose her life? Plus, what will Congress do with the Starr report? 48 hours tonight.
All day today and for several days has been talk about whether First Lady Hillary Clinton would or should mount a public defense of her husband. The Clintons had a scheduled joint appearance tonight here in Washington. CBS's Bill Plant has the latest on the First Lady as first defender. Bill?
Dan, Hillary Rodham Clinton has always stood by her man. Gossip linked him to Jennifer Flowers, then to Paula Jones, then Monica Lewinsky. And each time, the First Lady publicly dismissed the charges and supported her husband. Over the weekend before his speech to the nation, when she reportedly first learned that he had lied about the Lewinsky affair, Mrs. Clinton went to church with the president.
Indeed, I did have a relationship with Miss Lewinsky.
But since then, except for a short statement by her press secretary that the First Lady forgave her husband and remained committed to her marriage, Hillary Rodham Clinton herself has said nothing. Nothing to support her husband or forgive his transgression. Not on the First Family's painfully isolated vacation, and not since in Russia or Ireland or in Washington. What she has done is continue to speak out on policy.
Sitting up in the Congress right now are proposals from this administration to substantially increase the amount of money we are spending on cancer research.
But as the president's support among Democrats in Congress continues to erode, many of them want the First Lady to say that she forgives him. Would you be speaking out in support of the president? Hillary Clinton has said from the beginning that the president should only apologize once. But now he's talking and she still doesn't want to. But some Democrats think that Hillary Clinton is the only one who can now save her husband. Dan?
Bill Plant at the White House. More CBS News straight ahead.
This week, the Publishers Clearinghouse Prize Patrol has no van to drive and no checks to deliver. Because this week, Publishers Clearinghouse is putting thousands of real checks right in the mail. If you get an envelope with this green star, open it and you can find a real check for $100.
This is a CBS News special report. Dan Rather from Washington. We go to the White House where the president has something to say. The president has paused for just a moment before coming out. What this is about has not been officially announced. As CBS News reported earlier in this newscast, that we had been told reliably that the Northwest Airlines strike is in the process of being settled. Whether that is what the president wants to talk about and whether he has anything else to say or not, we're not absolutely sure, although we have been told that he will say something. And he is with First Lady Hillary Rodham Clinton. Transportation Secretary Rodney Slater is with the president on his left, which would indicate he will indeed say something about the Northwest strike.
Good evening. I wanted to take this opportunity to say how delighted I am that Northwest Airlines and its pilots have reached terms that form the basis of an agreement. The parties are now working on the specific time of getting back to work. The agreement, of course, will have to be approved, but I think this strike is over. Earlier today, I spoke over the phone to the leaders of both parties, Randy Babbitt of the Airline Pilots Association and John Dasberg, the CEO of Northwest Airlines. I told them how important this negotiated agreement is to our country and to our economy, particularly at this time. I'm pleased that they have worked so hard to make this happen. Getting Northwest planes and pilots back into the air is a victory for the company and for the employees, and a victory for all Americans who rely on the airline. I'd like to say a special word of appreciation to those here in the administration who were involved in this effort, to Secretary Slater, to my Deputy White House Counsel, Bruce Lindsay, who has developed quite an expertise in this whole area. They both went to Minnesota this week at my request to help to resolve the matter. I'd also like to say a special word of thanks to my labor advisor here in the White House, Karen Tramontano, for her work. All of them helped to spur these talks along. They deserve credit for their determination. Again, let me say that this is good news for the American people. This is an indication that the collective bargaining process, if entered into in good faith, can actually work in a way that benefits everyone. I know there are a lot of people that depend upon Northwest who are relieved tonight, and again, I just want to thank all the parties, including you, Mr. Secretary. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, what did you tell your cabinet? What did you tell your cabinet, Mr. President?
Ask him.
Are you considering...
Do you think it went well?
Are you considering resignation, Mr. President?
The president with First Lady Hillary Clinton and the Transportation Secretary announcing that the Northwest Airlines strike has reached tentative agreement. This agreement still must be approved by the union membership. As you heard, the reporters, as they will answer, threw out some questions, but the president chose not to answer any of those questions. We go quickly now to CBS News White House correspondent Scott Pelley back at the White House. Scott?
Dan, the question was, what did he tell the cabinet? And we have spoken to some of the cabinet officers this evening. One of them told us it was an extraordinary meeting. The president was very contrite, gave a heartfelt apology to his cabinet. He, of course, lied to his cabinet members back in January about there being a relationship with Monica Lewinsky. One of the cabinet members told us, quote, he was hurting. Mr. Clinton was asked by the reporter you just heard whether he was considering resignation. We are told by some of the cabinet members in the meeting that there was no talk of resignation at all. Dan?
Scott Pelley at the White House. President Clinton announcing that the tentative agreement has been reached to end the Northwest Airlines strike. The House of Representatives is debating when and how the official version of the Starr report is to be released. Dan Rather, CBS News in Washington. There'll be more details on all this later on this CBS station.
This has been a CBS News special report. CBS.com for news 24 hours a day. Experience CBS News.
He's been a familiar face to many Nashvillians. Tonight, his life is cut short by a freak accident.
Metro's teachers union says its pay dispute with the school board has entered the crisis.